Hello my friends and welcome to a special Cygnus Destroyer video. As you're probably already aware, Bubsy the Bobcat has returned to the gaming scene for the first time in over 20 years. I was beyond excited upon hearing this announcement and I anxiously awaited the day that I could pick up a copy, but little did I realize that I would actually be supplied a download code from the publishers themselves. Yes, Accolade has given this unapologetically genuine Bubsy fan the honor of reviewing their latest project, and I can't thank them enough or express how much that means to me, but rest assured that this will not affect my judgment. For better or worse, whether praised in the comments or bombarded with dislikes, I've always been completely honest with you guys, and this isn't going to be an exception to the rule. The opinions I'm about to share would be the same even if I had paid the full retail price. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at the highly anticipated Bubsy the Woolies Strike Back for the PC and PS4. The current installment in the long-dead franchise of the 16-bit era rival to Sonic the Hedgehog Mario was brought to life by the team at Black Forest Games on the fittingly appropriate date of Halloween 2017. The Woolies Strike Back starts simply enough with a silent prologue that starkly contrasts from the goofy, lighthearted nature of its predecessors, but the traditional tone quickly kicks into gear on the title screen as our hero spouts his infamous catchphrase.
What could possibly go wrong?
The voice samples have been one of the defining traits of the series from the start, and they played an essential role in enhancing the charm for fans, but critics have understandably found them to be a constant source of mind-numbing annoyance. Black Forest Games took note of this and implemented a verbosity meter in the options menu for the purpose of selecting how many one-liners the players are subjected to, with Silent Bobcat putting a permanent mute on the polarizing protagonist, and Bubsy, well...
Bubsy makes so much sense. How did I not think of this before? Not flying. Multi-pounce! Pounce! I win! I'm unstoppable!
You get the picture. I naturally raised the slider to 11 to get the full experience, and the spoken audio admittedly became tedious from the sheer repetition over the course of my playthrough, but I give the voice actor credit for turning in a performance that pays tribute to the source material and ups the bar for humor from the earlier entries.
Whatever blows your hair back. Remember, I am a trained professional. To my butt cheek. You live freely if you don't have a reputation to lose. I speak from experience, of course.
In regards to the remainder of the presentation, Black Forest decided to differentiate from other revival platformers by opting out of the retro aesthetic in favor of a more modern style a la Mighty No. 9, albeit without the glaring technical flaws. On the PS4 version, the frame rate runs at a steady 60 frames per second without any observable lag, and the controls are the smoothest yet in a Bubsy title. Pressing X or triangle makes the notorious Accolade mascot jump or glide, respectively, while circle or square sends him pouncing upon unsuspecting prey in the form of a spiraling corkscrew maneuver that tears through obstructions with reckless abandon. Unfortunately, the pounce suffers from a serious lack of control, which ultimately makes it harder to hit certain foes along the path. However, it's still an effective killing machine when properly mastered, and it's especially helpful when it comes to the boss battles, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The Bobcat's journey to reclaim the stolen treasure takes him across a diverse range of locations such as forests, the desert, and the alien invaders' home turf. In keeping with the tried and true archetypes established by the pioneers of the side-scrolling genre, the aforementioned areas on the overworld map are broken down into sub-stages that follow the classic point A to B linear layout comprised of a blend of recycled and original elements, including the temporary shield power-ups, the ability to climb walls, and the removal of the flawed fall damage mechanic. There are a number of bonus objectives based around collecting keys and t-shirts that flesh out the simple premise, but these are entirely optional, netting only the customary bragging rights and a sweet dip into a massive yarn-filled vault for fulfilling them. The bosses that appear after clearing a particular segment follow the same general structure, but small tweaks are implemented to the formula that freshen this familiar trope. The odds are heavily stacked against the snarky star of the show in that his one hit point pales in comparison to the large health bars of these behemoth bosses, but thankfully Black Forest installed a checkpoint system that kept track of the progress made between deaths, so I was able to persevere after learning the patterns, and I'd concluded my business with the evil alien race in less than 2.5 hours. Yes, you heard me right. Bubsy the Woolies Strike Back can be finished in less time than it takes to watch one of the Lord of the Rings movies. In fact, I ran through the majority of the adventure again so that I can unlock the trophy for completing the levels without dying, and my capture session was still wrapped up within the span of an evening. At a cost of $30 for a physical disc, it's hard to justify the insufficient amount of content, and I can totally understand why most consumers would be turned off by the hefty price tag, but I would have gladly dropped my dough down in a heartbeat because this is without a doubt the best Bubsy to date! The graphics are perfect for this type of platformer, the controls are mostly tight, the soundtrack is fantastic, and the hilarious dialogue is knocked out of the park by the stellar lead voice actor. Accolade's newest endeavor may not soar to the meteoric heights of the magnificent and incomparable Shovel Knight, but it did exceed my expectations, and I would recommend it to old-school side-scrolling junkies with eccentric tastes. Anyway, now that the Bobcat's reputation has been redeemed, I've got to prepare for my Sonic Forces review. Be sure to come back for that, but until then, this is Matt, aka Cygnus Destroyer, signing out. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, the boxes on the screen right now will lead to some more of my videos, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking on my avatar in the bottom right hand corner. Thanks again.